My name is Benjamin Akakwa. Welcome back. We still are your election headquarters. We're bringing you every scoop when it comes to this NPP parliamentary primaries across the length and breadth of the country. Of course, we know there are some 312 candidates in 100 constituencies that are hoping to get elected. But the question is, who will get elected? Between now and the hour of about 4 p.m., we're going to be bringing you the latest in terms of the results. You know that the polls close at 2 p.m. and between now and 4, we'll be letting you know how the tide is going voting-wise across all of these 100 constituencies. So stick and stay with us. Of course, we're bringing you all of this courtesy of Petrosol Clean Fuel in full quantities. Now, my guest in the studio joining the conversation as we touch base is a member of Parliament for Adwoa South. He currently is. He's also served as Minister for Works and Housing up until January 2021. I'm sure you know him already. He's none other than Samuel Atta Akyea. He joins me in the studio. Thank you, sir, for joining.
A pleasure as always.
And since it's the first time this year, I think it's only fitting to say Happy New Year.
The same to you, my brother and friend. Yeah.
So we're going to be taking you across the length and breadth of the country, bringing you the latest dynamics. There are areas where there have been a few tussles, scuffles, the bit about having accreditation, not having accreditation in Ayawaso Central, Weija-Gbawe and the tenant versus the landlord, and then everything else happening in Bantama, for example, where the current Minister for Works and Housing is actually, Francis Asenso-Boakye, is locking horns with the brother of Kennedy Ejapong. It's turning into quite a boiling event there. We'll bring you every little bit that you need to know across these constituencies. But, Honourable, coming to you, you're not going
Yes, please.
for that seat anymore.
Yes, please.
You've already expanded on why you're not going. But I'm still curious, after all these terms in Parliament and all the talk about, we need those old dogs, old faces, experience to stay in Parliament. Why now?
Well, I think it's all self-measurement, my brother.
Self-measurement.
Yes, you should know when to stop. And when you come to a certain time in your life, you should know what, for my part, your legacy years, Done 16 years, put your legal practice aside considerably. Now, you are going to be 62 years this year. Why would you want to disturb your soul with additional years, trying to be a member of Parliament with all the troubles associated with that office?
Okay, I'll come to those troubles. Let me quickly cross over, though, with your permission. Let's cross over into the Ashanti region, Bantama to be specific, the Florida of the NPP. We have Chairman Wontumi interacting there. Let's catch what he has to say.
Exercise, you need a very unified force or front to be able to ensure that, power is retained. How are you going to ensure the regional, chairman of the party?
I have been a chairman for 3 consecutive terms, and it has been our custom that after the election, of course, we are all human beings. So we set up a reconciliation team, and we have a very strong, respectful people in Ashanti region. So it's their job to make sure that they bring everybody on fold for us to go. This is the last election. We started from polling station and to coordinating, and then to constituency, to the region. All the elections, once we reach to the stage, it becomes critical. But after that, we see that we bring the people along for us to move. So from there, then we move to the national, then we move to the presidential. Now, you see Kwabena Japan, Bawumia, Denimo, Apreku, everybody is playing ball for us to move. So obviously, voting, one will win and one will lose. But it's the person who will win, everybody will come together for us to support. So as the party,
you see nothing wrong with now. How are you doing now?
We are okay.
I'm talking about your health. Are you okay now?
I'm okay.
You see nothing wrong with some of these aspirants giving out money to delegates to vote in their favor?
Oh, my brother. You as a journalist, we have to be a reality. Once I'm going, you look for Laura first. Is it not normal in Ghana? Or you won't look for lorry fare, then you say it. So once I'm going, I'll go free.
I won't look for lorry fare from you.
Yes, then I will do that and give everybody a lorry.
So what is your opinion when it comes to delegates taking money from aspirants to,
Nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that. Now they have voted and finished. Okay? They have voted and finished. I have mentioned policies and stuff. This is what the Ghanaians want to know. You know, we have our way of selecting people. So they have done very peaceful, and I'm proud of it. Thank you so much.
So that is the new patriotic party Ashanti region chairman Bernard Ntwibo-Siako. Not too long ago, we saw pictures of Bernard Ntwibo-Siako, who has been hospitalized, and when he had to appear before the Kumasi Traditional Council, according to the reports we had, he was not well, or he was indisposed. But fortunately, today he says he is well, and he has been monitoring what's been going on in this election. So Chairman Wontumi sees nothing wrong with some delegates taking money from aspirants to vote in their favor. He sees it as just something for their transportation to the polling stations and for the duty that they are doing today. So as you can see, sorting is ongoing here in the Bantama constituency. After the sorting, counting will follow, and it's expected that in the next 15 minutes everything will be done and the results will be declared. So we are here in the Bantama constituency. Both aspirants are seated. To my left is Honorable Asenso, incumbent member of parliament for the Bantama constituency, and to my right is Ralph Ejapon, who is seeking to unseat him. Those are supporters of the incumbent member of parliament, Honorable Asenso. I want to get close to them and find out why they are making such noise, because the counting just started, and we wouldn't know why this is happening. So Chief, no one. Okay. I didn't know. Quantity na my year go na. Why don't you say Asenso dey do so chain? Beblebe. If say ya to aba, why would the kind dey na kan? If say hwedin a, ye bebe omu yi free no. Be omu yi free no. Ya say Asenso dey anko na do so. Asenso dey anko na mo kan. Ba ko dey na ketuwa bi. Enti dash tina o se bonere, asa ba na nya bibia. All right. According to this gentleman, in his opinion, from the sorting that they've done, Asenso, the incumbent member of parliament, has taken a clear lead, and this excitement transcends throughout the support base or the fan base of Asenso. They are very excited. They believe that he has won, and the crowd keeps getting thicker. The supporters outside continue to rush in here and join their counterparts, jubilate. According to them, they are in clear lead, but unfortunately, from where I'm standing, I'm unable to confirm what they are saying. But to them, they've won. But the other side, that's the support base of Ralph Ejapon, they are not heard here. Let's continue. Let's listen to some of the chants.
Atta Akyea, my colleague, bringing us the scoop from Bantama in the Ashanti region, and of course, the chants from the fans of Francis Assenso-Boakye. They believe they have clinched it, but we shall wait till counting is done. That is the only way we here can independently confirm. Once it is signed, determine who has in fact won. Something that caught my attention, though. You know, the Bible says, and Jesus wept. But in this case, political miracles. And Wuntumi recovered and showed his face. Well, let's now head to Pru West. Daniel Techi is there. There was a brutality recorded earlier in the day. Daniel Techi is in Pru West. He will be bringing us the scoop. Daniel, what is the latest you can report as far as that incident? Someone was injured, hospitalized after a melee broke out in the Pru West constituency. What's the latest?
Okay, the latest I can say about whatever happened just yesterday is that the particular person who have been attacked and hospitalized is now doing well. He was. Do
we know the person's name?
Yeah, he's Ahmed Tijani.
Ahmed Tijani.
Okay. Yeah, he is the deputy, according to information I gathered, he's the deputy national coordinator for Pru West. That is the Pru West Constituency. Apart from that, if that incident that happened yesterday, I would say the whole process has been very peaceful. Exactly 2 o'clock, voting has ended. They started sorting out. After the sorting out, there is every indication that shows that Honorable Stephen Jalula, the Deputy Road Minister, is taking the lead. But we'll wait until the counting is done before we can declare as to what figure he has in taking the lead. Now, with me here is Honorable Stephen Jalula, because people have already surrounded him, wanting to congratulate him. But Honorable Stephen Jalula, you're welcome. This is Joy News. Thank you, my brother. Okay. Let's start from what happened yesterday. Even though you spoke to the media, we've gotten your side of the story, but what more do you have to say? What's the guy's situation, Tijani Ahmed? What's his situation now?
Well, thank you so much. TJ, as we popularly call him, is responding to treatment. The incident that happened yesterday was so unfortunate because this is an internal contest. And incidentally, the TJ guy is related to my opponent, the Alhaji Garba. So that was so unfortunate. But the security agencies have taken up the investigations of the matter, and we are very confident that they will come out. They'll do whatever is supposed to be done to make sure that the law and order is brought to full West Virginia.
Has there been any arrest ever since the incident happened?
Not really. The police spoke to me and they said that they could have caused the arrest of the guys, perpetrators, maybe for the peace of the election. Because they wanted the elections to pass peacefully, they have suspended the arrest of the guys until after the elections, when they will start investigations. And for them to start investigations means that they will definitely arrest them before they commence investigation.
Okay. Now,
all right, so Daniel Techi is bringing us the scoop from Pru West. We'll connect to him shortly so that we can find out what else has happened. At least we know that for now, they do not know who exactly perpetrated this act of violence. But in the interim, let's cross over to Adanse Asokwa, that constituency. KT Hammond, Kobinata Hero Hammond, Nana Dom-Kwabenya Yadom is there for us. What is the latest that you can report? From what we gathered, it was going to be pretty tough for KT Hammond.
Well, President Council just ended. In fact, they just concluded with a counting of the ballot papers, the ballot sheets, which goes in favor of the incumbent member of parliament, KT Hammond, that's the incumbent member of parliament for Adanse Asokwa. So you can see him clearly in your shot, while his supporters have joined him to celebrate, even after or even before EC comes out to officially declare the results.
Unfortunately, we do not have the best of connections, so we'll now cross over to Tano North. But before we go there, let me just let you know that as far as the Akim Swedro NPP parliamentary primaries are concerned, guess who came up tops per the information we gather. So there we're looking at a certain Honorable Kennedy Osei Nyako. But in Kwesi we also have Dr. Prince Hamid Ama, who has got the nod there with quite a sizable difference. I'll be bringing you the scoop on that. Let's head now to Tano North constituency, where Gideon Boako is slugging it out with the incumbent MP, Frida Prempeh. Prince Ajamandua is our man on the ground. Prince, what's the latest you can report from that constituency?
Counting is still ongoing. Tano North constituency. For now, they are finished counting of Dr. Gideon Boako. And you can see supporters of Gideon Boako outside the background where voting was held. As I speak to you, counting is ongoing for the vote of Frida Prempeh. From the look of things, Gideon is feeling with confidence since this agent has given information, but I cannot confirm whether we have won or not. But from the look of things, the supporters are jubilating and they are waiting for the electoral commission to declare the final result.
Well, we'll wait for that to be done in that area of Tano, and then we shall get the latest from there. But thank you for bringing us all that information. So as we know it now, at least when it comes to Kwesi Mintim, some 248 votes polled by Dr. Prince Hamid Ama, and he has taken the day. Let's bring you some more sights and sounds from Bantama. It's that straight fight between Francis Asenso-Boakye and, of course, Raphael Ejapong. Well, that is the latest. We'll keep following this. We'll keep tabs on it so that once there are votes, we can confirm. Once the sheets are signed, we'll bring you the details. But in the twin city of the Western region, Mayor of Sekondi Takoradi, Abdul Momin, was prevented from voting in that constituency. Nanama Bodiwa Moncha joins us with an update. Nanama, tell us what exactly happened. What is the latest on that situation? It appears we've lost Nanama. We'll try to reconnect with her. Nanama, can you hear me now? Hello, Nanama. Please unmute, Nanama, if you can hear me. Nanama, if you can hear me, please unmute so we can hear what you're saying.
Yes, please, I can hear you.
All right, so I was asking about that situation. What exactly happened? Can you walk us through what happened?
Okay, so around 2 thereabouts, the mayor for Sekondi Takoradi, Abdul Mumuni Isa, walked in. From the main gate, he was stopped there because, according to the police officers and the officials of the constituency, Takoradi constituency, they told him that he doesn't have access at the place today. But unfortunately, the mayor, I'm sure, did not understand at all. Refused, to accept that information. So he proceeded to where they have to check you, take your phones and bags before you can be able to proceed on the voting. So that place, he was asked to go back. And then one of the aspirants, Frederick Sam Inkum, confronted him that he's not supposed to be around because he's not a delegate to be around here at the Presbyterian Church, Takoradi constituency, but he refused it again. So there was a little bit of friction between the mayor and the aspirants. The police rushed in, to support the incident. He still did not accept the fact that he's not supposed to be around. He proceeded to where they cast the votes, and so the police told the aspirants, that's Frederick Sam Inkum, to relax. And when he gets there and his name is not part of the list, he will be asked to go back. And he got to where they cast the votes, and then they look at the EC officials look at it. His name wasn't part of the names there, and so he was asked to go back. In fact, it wasn't something too nice to experience from the mayor. So that's the incident that happened here.
Thank you very much, Nanama, for bringing us the scooper there. Let me just bring you up to speed on some of the latest figures that we have. Indeed, in Akim-Swedra, in the eastern region, we do know that the candidates that went toe-to-toe, these are the votes they secured. Kennedy Osei, Nyako, 194. Jerome Kwame Akodo, only 10 votes. And Kwesi Kwaning Bosompem, some 94 votes. Total valid votes, 298. Rejected votes, nothing. And the total there, 298. Which means then that Kennedy Osei Nyako has got the nod, and the controller has actually lost control of that situation. But then we can also go back to Kwesi Mintim constituency. And of course, as we see it now, 409 votes cast out of 421. Dr. Yapoku Abeid and 160. Dr. Prince Hamid Ama 248 with 1 rejected, which means that Dr. Prince Hamid Ama has got the nod there. We also have unconfirmed results from Tano North constituency. He may have won. I'm talking about Dr. Gideon Boako with a whopping 444 votes. We're yet to confirm that, but these are provisional results we're bringing you. And what we're seeing for Honorable Frida Prempe, we all know her, 221 votes, and we're waiting for official confirmation from the Electoral Commission. We'll bring you more shortly, but let me come briefly into the studio. So here we are. Interesting figures coming, and some big wigs already beginning to fall. Yes. It's quite a picture. Bantama in there. We've seen Katie Hammond at Danse Asokwa, and per the polls, Global Info Analytics and the rest, it didn't appear he would carry the day. What is your reading of the results we've seen so far?
I'm not too much surprised, you see, because first of all, when you're born with people for long and you meet their needs, you have a modicum of decent people whom I want to return gratitude. So an incumbent like Katie Hammond, I'm not surprised at all. And sometimes too, they are fed up with you. And you've been around for a long time. There's donor fatigue. You believe that, a new Messiah is on the scene. Why don't we deal with a new Messiah? Rather than you.
Because we can get more from the new Messiah.
You can get a new Messiah. He's not had experience of longevity. So these are some of the permutations who determine whether you will continue in office or not.
Are you speaking from experience?
Oh yes, I mean
because you're a multiple-term member of parliament.
Yes, I've done only 4 terms. I'm going to do I'm closing now, and I know the psychology on the ground is always like that.
I see. Interesting question though. Chairman of the Ashanti Regional Branch of the NPP in the Ashanti region, of course, Chairman Wuntumi, showing up here all of a sudden, and the tussle with Otumfuo and the rest. What do you make of that development? How do you think it impacts the party?
Well, it's most unfortunate, you see, but I know Ashanti man has superior intelligence to know that it is not one man who constitutes NPP, and that the foibles of one man should not sort of mess up the entire New Patriotic Party, where the Ashanti region is our stronghold. So I know Otumfuo will find a space in his heart to forgive the waywardness of one man.
Do you think he was wayward?
Well, if what the evidence we are gathering is anything to go by, I mean, sometimes you mind what to say, especially when they've given you a place of prominence and trust. If it's an ordinary person at KJT, it will have no consequence. But by his stature, whatever he says will have some impact, but it doesn't reflect the thinking of the majority of the people in the Ashanti region. And whatever it is, his foibles, I'm trusting God that Otumfuo will have a space to forgive him. And whatever sanctions they might want to act on him, to do so. But it's very unfortunate.
I'll come back to you later on that. But let me cross over now to Tano North. I was just announcing that Dr. Gideon Boako had carried the day. Prince is on hand to bring us the scoop there. Prince, what's the latest you gather from Tano North?
I can confirm to you that Dr. Gideon Boako has won the Tano North seat, the primary for the NPP. He garnered 444 votes as against 221 for the incumbent Honorable Frida Prempe. The EC is now about to declare Dr. Gideon Boako as winner
of the primary. So, Ivan, we are going for the declaration from the Electoral Committee.
All right, thank you very much for bringing us. These are confirmed reports, I believe.
Yes,
Prince.
They are confirmed. They are confirmed.
Confirmed. So signed by the different parties, involved, the Electoral Commission.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So these are confirmed reports or results that we are bringing you as our correspondent on the ground confirms. In Tano North, Dr. Gideon Boako. Let me come back into the studio. Now, Frida Prempeh only recently took over from Cecilia Abinadapa, Sanitation and Water Resources, and already she's bleeding in her constituency. It's not looking good for her. It's a beating. What do you make of it?
Well, I think it's all building on hope. They believe that Dr. Gideon is close to the vice president. So the prospects are that when the vice president should break the 8, it will not be ignored.
Are you suggesting that all of a sudden, because of the switch from, some say yes, the president still is the leader of the party. Others are leaning more towards the substantive flag bearer of the party. All of a sudden, that picture comes in. People are leaning towards Dr. Bawumia because he is now flag bearer and they want to be in his good books?
Certainly, because President Akufo-Addo is at a place of no return. So, if you like, his goodwill is almost ended. And therefore, people want to pitch camp with the one who has the future of the party and by extension the nation. So this is all that people do. The interest and their personal interest will hold sway. And I'm not surprised at all.
I see.
Yes.
If you look at the gap, almost 200, in fact, 223. 223.
Yes.
That's the difference.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. 444 for Dr. Gideon Boako.
Yes.
221
yes.
for Frida Prempeh.
Yes. That is to tell you that they might probably are fed up with the new minister. And then they believe that the future is with Gideon. That's my sense of it.
And maybe the money, like you said, is with Gideon. Because he's coming in fresh and he can bring you money.
It could be so. It could be so that maybe he was more romancing in terms of money than the minister. It could be so. I don't have all the facts on the ground.
All right, so we have more coming your way in Herman Lower Denchera, and we know that the Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Bright, is also down. He's losing in that constituency. I will bring you the scoop on that. We'll bring you the latest as we get the figures, as we confirm them. Well, it is confirmed, as I get to know now, confirmed that indeed he has lost, but we'll bring you the exact figures so you know. And we'll be getting the reactions as well. Honorable Atta Akyea, so here you are, a number of bigwigs, a number of people that we're expecting to carry the day, actually not carrying the day. Any surprises in there?
I'm not too surprised, you see, because at the end of the day, you realize that it is a self-sacrificing job and you could be worn out. And if you don't know what it is to remain as a member of parliament, I mean, it can be something else. So they've decided that we've had enough. It is not only in that space called parliament that you can serve the nation. You can also do a lot more for the nation outside parliament. And if you understand that, and sometimes too, if you have something to do seriously after parliament, that's an incentive to say that I've had enough. I want to move on with my life. So these are some of the permutations that will determine whether you want to stay so long.
And I guess that influenced your decisions. But let me ask you, I mean, interesting picture. I'm even looking at Efia in the Western region, Joseph Kujo also losing there. I'll just confirm that for you. But you're having a number of the stalwarts in this administration losing. You have a deputy employment, and labor relations minister swept aside. Frida Prempeh, sanitation, water resources, tsunami, taking her away. Isn't that cause for worry? What does that establish for you from where you sit?
Well, it depends on so many factors. One of the factors you should bear in mind is that when you stay too long, too, people get fed up. Some people will say that, let's see what the new man will bring on board. like you want to change your diet. So the factors are multiple and varied, but it doesn't show much for me, so far as I'm concerned, that probably somebody is a deputy minister and he didn't find favor with the constituency, and somebody is just a Johnny just come. Depending on all that.
So there are different dynamics at play.
Different dynamics at play.
But interestingly, a lot of these people, I mean, they've been your colleagues in Parliament. You've been there in the 8th Parliament with them. Some have also been colleague ministers at some point in the past, and they're all falling by the wayside. What do you think is accounting for this?
Well, I don't think many of them are falling. So far, you've mentioned 2. So that could not be, if you like, a probability that all of them will fall. But I'm telling you the truth, that the sheer fact that somebody is a minister, but he hasn't gotten a grip on the constituency, does not entitle him to be renewed in his mandate. That is my sense.
But at least we see a number of them falling by the wayside, even if not all of them. At the end of the day, we'll get to know, as we get closer to maybe 4 p.m., we'll get to see a number of them. But what signal does that send?
Maybe expectations have not been met. Some people believe that when
So the party has failed?
I don't think the party has failed. The point of the matter is that the expectations are so high. They believe that when somebody is a member of the government, then that is coterminous with you owning the Bank of Ghana. So, he's become a minister.
But is that not an impression that you yourselves, members of Parliament, have created?
No.
You created the impression that you have money from here to the moon.
I have to tell you, my dear brother, where is that impression coming from? I don't think any...
From you, the members of Parliament?
Any serious member of Parliament promise heaven to a constituency. Yes. Everybody will say one thing.
Have you listened to some of what some of these people were saying?
Well, it's all appetites. They believe that when somebody is a member of Parliament, then if you got his blood, you should suck it dry. It's all your appetite. What is the point of you saying that without me being a delegate, I have no means of income and resources? So if you believe that becoming a delegate is a money-making venture and somebody wouldn't meet your appetite, that doesn't mean that the MP promised you heaven. No MP can give you heaven.
Right.
And that is what we should come to terms with.
Let's now head to Herman Lower Denchera. We have, beg your pardon, Rejoice Semefa there. And we were bringing you that scoop about the Deputy Employment Minister who has lost that bid. Rejoice, what's the latest you can report? What figures are you seeing that you can share with us?
Right, Ivan. So they've declared the result, and the CEO of the Exim Bank, Lawrence Ejisim, had won the primaries here in the Lower Denchera constituency over the incumbent MP. So earlier in the morning, I interacted with some of the constituents. You could see or hear from their expectations, their views, that they've longed for this change and they've really prepared themselves for it. And then, contrary to that, the incumbent MP said he had worked, he was at the grassroots level with the people, he had interacted with them, he has done his best, so he hopes to win. So we're patiently waiting for the result to confirm whether he's going to win or the constituents are going to take over this side. And then our prediction, or their prediction, was right. The contender to the incumbent MP had finally won with 273 votes, and the incumbent had 169. So you could see jubilation. They are happy, they are jumping, they are singing all around, and showing their support behind the CEO of the Exim Bank, Lawrence Ejisim.
Well, thank you very much for those details. Let's now cross over to Rafiq Salam in Sisala East. And he actually is going to be bringing us an update from that part of the country. Rafiq, tell us what's the latest in Sisala East? Who is winning? Who's losing?
Voting or the polls closed, and then counting has already been done, and the results satisfied. He promised that he was going to win a landslide victory. Many didn't believe it, but he went on to prove that he is a man of the moment in the Sisala East constituency. I'm talking about the Deputy Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Abidisina Isaku. He has been able to retain his position and then will be leading the NPP the 2024 polls in the Sisala East constituency. he polled out of the 529 delegate list. He had 433 votes as against 86 by his contender, who is a 45-year-old political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Joshua Jebutie Zato. And so the writing was really clear on the wall that he wouldn't have any difficulty in winning this particular seat. And so he won and won massively.
Thank you, Rafiq, for bringing us the details there. But have there been any incidents worthy of note that you can share with us?
There hasn't been an incident. What we can tell you is that out of the 559 voters, only 4 were not able to vote because they had passed on, and also 2 were rejected. But
all right, I see some scenes in Bantama, and let's cross over to find out what exactly is happening there. On a radio, those are the scenes there. We cannot exactly confirm what is happening, but Raphael, of course, Ejapong, he was having an interaction first with the Ashanti regional chairman of the NPP, Wuntumi, and then we saw him lifting his hand, interacting with some of those in the crowd. We do not know what is happening. He's speaking now. Let's hear what he has to say.
Unity is the most important thing. He's done well. I must concede.
But you're confident of winning. What happened?
Yes, I told you. I told you it was an election. It was an election. You either win or lose, and I have lost. He won. So he's done well. I congratulate him. Tomorrow life goes on.
They have showed a very big maturity.
Yes.
As a regional chairman, this is the first time I have seen somebody who have a confidence. Listen, losing in life. If you see all the rich people in life, losing is a process of success. So for him to lose and come to his brother means he's a winner. It's an MPP who has won. And if you hear him, he's saying that he's going to support his brother, and MPP need unity. So he's going to lead it. So this is most important. So I support him, and I will help him as a regional chairman to do that.
As a regional chairman, what will you do to bring unity to the Bantama constituency?
He has started.
Look, we are already united from
now
today.
He's ambassador. So all the DSA campaign that we are doing, he's with me, and we are going to move from constituency to constituency to regions for Ralph to be the unity ambassador in MPP.
Yeah, very much. So moments ago, Ralph Ejapong, that is the contender in this election, he just conceded defeat. He went over to Asensio-Boakye, that's the incumbent member of parliament, to concede defeat and also congratulate him for the victory that he has chalked in this election. According to Ralph Ejapong, the incumbent member of parliament, Asensio-Boakye, has been able to chalk about 70% of the votes that were cast here today. And Ralph Ejapong says he has done so well. He's convinced that he has been defeated in this particular election. So it looks like the noise or the chant that was coming from the camp of Asensio-Boakye pointed to the right direction. From all indication, Mr. Asensio-Boakye has won the election in the Bantama constituency. But unfortunately, as we stand here now, we do not know the figures. The EC is still within the inner perimeter. They are going ahead, collating the results, and in few minutes we expect that the Electoral Commission gives us full details of the results. Now, Ralph Ejapong, that is the contender of Asensio-Boakye, the incumbent member of parliament, is making his way out of the premises or where the election was done. He is being escorted by his supporters, and some of the media people are, showing his exit
from the area. So it looks like it's almost a done deal, or it's a done deal for the incumbent member of parliament for the Bantama constituency, Francis Asenso-Boakye, and the chairman of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region was also here, and he congratulated both of them for the contest here today, and he believes that Ralph Weija-Gbawe, as he said, will be part of the campaign team for the NPP in Bantama constituency. He will play his role to ensure that Bantama constituency keeps the seat, and also the NPP in the Bantama constituency keeps the seat, and also campaign for the vice president to become president in the 2024 general election. So Bantama continues to become, we are waiting for the Electoral Commission to give its final verdict here for the election.
Well, thank you very much, Nana Yaujima. Those are the scenes from Bantama, that crucial constituency for the New Patriotic Party. We also have information trickling in that another one, Samuel Tashia, who has lost, Deputy Local Government Minister Collins Augustine Intim, Offenso North. He, from the data we're gathering, from the information we're gathering, has actually lost that contest. Let's go to another heavy, well-populated constituency. You know, Dom-Kwabenya, Adwoa Safo, and Mike Ocquaye Jr. Well, we have Samuel Mbura bringing us the latest from there. Sam, what exactly has been happening? This is a crucial constituency. What's the latest?
Well, Benjamin, good evening. Everything has come to an end here, and right behind me we have the police officers taking position, guarding the ballots, and they're about to do the sorting. We had over 1,800 of the delegates coming to cast their ballots. We know this is the populous constituency across the country with this particular number, not just within the NPP election, but when you talk about the national elections, they are leading in terms of the voter population. So the atmosphere here is quite settled. There is some level of uncertainty. People are waiting, calmly for the sorting and the counting to begin. We know there are three aspirants in this crucial race. The first has to do with the incumbent MP, Adwoa Safo, who is seeking re-election. I think she's going for her fourth time. And
well, that's the situation at Dom-Kwabenya. Samuel Mbura bringing us the details. The connection is patchy. We'll try to reconnect with him. Before we go to Offenso North, I'd like to come into the studio briefly. Francis Asenso-Boakye has actually got the nod there. Some said that if he won, it would also mean that Kennedy Japon's grip is being lost. After all, his brother stood. And you know the threats that came up, that if they voted for Francis Asenso-Boakye, he would expose him, that he was corrupt and all that. What signal does this send?
It's unfortunate that even that message should come out that he was going to expose somebody from the same party. I found it very unfortunate.
If there's something to expose from the party, shouldn't he?
Well, they know how to solve party problems and wash dirty linen in-house. Because I do not see anybody who is serious as a party person that believes that he will wash his dirty linen in public.
No, but I take a different opinion. He's talking about national issues. He says this person is corrupt. He says this person is corrupt. That moves away from party. It becomes national.
Why this moment? That could be a blackmail.
But why not?
Yeah, because all this while, if you have a dossier on somebody, why didn't you let it out? But because you think that, you could intimidate the constituents and the delegates so that your brother will win? Is that a permutation? Mm-hmm. For me, it leaves much to be desired. Because was a dossier built overnight? The information is having about sense. So it's quite unfortunate. But I don't believe that's how we should do our politics. At all. Yeah, but now the people have said that, well, we call off your bluff. And
I see.
We believe that Asenso is good for us.
All right. So you actually were rooting for Francis Asenso-Boakye. You say you believe he's good for you, so you were.
No, it's belief for the constituency. I didn't pay particular attention to what was going on, but I could tell you that he's a good material. He can do a good job. Well,
let's just bring you some of the scoop, the latest that we're gathering. If you go to Adansi Asokwa, that interesting constituency. Atta Akyea Hammond, we all call him KT Hammond, has a one there. He actually is the Minister for Industry now, Trade and Industry. We'll be bringing you the figures. Also in Nhyiaeso, it was said that it was going to be tough for Dr. Stephen Amoah. We all call him Sticker. Well, it appears he's been able to scrape through there as well. We'll bring you more on that. Excited by those?
Very much so.
I see.
I know that he's a good parliamentarian. I know that.
Which one of them are you referring to? Dr. Stephen Amoah?
Stephen Amoah.
Right.
Yes, I've been with him, and I think that was the last. This is the second term, right, I suppose. But he's acquitted himself creditably. He has the courage of his conviction. His articulation is good, and he's a very, very one of the stalwarts of our party in Parliament. I'm glad for that.
And now he's been rewarded with that deputy ministerial role. There are others that I want to take a quick look at. I've seen some interesting ones in Sawam, Edua coming through. I'll just find those and bring you the details of that. But one thing, at least from the figures we've seen, Hayford Siao, the CEO of Ghana Library Authority, did not make it. Frank Anodompre retaining that position with 734 votes versus 228. Of course, provisional. We'll still get you the details on that. But when you talk about education, one man who's been in the picture, the Member of Parliament for Tafo Pankrono in the Ashanti region, Otafo, and he has actually got the nod, Vincent Eko Asifwa, 367 votes from the sheet, the polling sheet. Sewa Donko with 337, a gap of 30. That was what made the difference in there. All right, so let's cross over back to Bantama, the Florida of the NPP. The Electoral Commission is declaring
650, representing 78.22. Honorable Raphael Ejapong, poll 181, representing 21.78. Rejected vote 1. Now total valid votes 831. Total vote cast 832. Now, on behalf of my regional director, I declare Honorable Francis Otenso duly elected. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank the Almighty God for making it possible. Right from the start of the campaign, we said that the battle is the Lord, and that whatever the Lord has said will come to pass. And that is why throughout the campaign, we were singing that Wakano Ababam Radi Wakano Ababam Radi Akasa Obe Shiraye Obe Shiraye Naya Shira. So it was a battle that belonged to the Lord, and He made it possible. So I thank God Almighty for making this victory, this resounding victory, possible. Secondly, I'd like to thank the delegates, Bantama MPP. Thank you very much for giving me this resounding victory. God bless you. And third, I'd like to thank my wife and my children for giving me all the support that I needed. I also want to thank my mother, my late mother, who sacrificed her life and worked very hard to give me the education that I needed. Thank you very much, ma'am, wherever you are. Thank you. Wait a minute. It was our late former General Secretary, Sir John, who said that we should fear delegates. But in Bantama, we don't say that. We say respect delegates. Respect delegates. Because you were asked You were asked to jettison your own son, the true son of Bantama, for someone who does not come from here. But you said no, that will not happen, and that did not happen. But this is NPP. Whenever we are having a contest, we campaign, and after the contest, we come together. So I want to pledge my commitment to a one united NPP that will rally behind Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for the big battle in 2024. Today, we have made history in Bantama. We made history in Bantama. I am the only MP. I am the only MP who has survived a re-election challenge. No other person has done it before. And we have broken the 4-year term jinx. We have done that. Nobody has done that before. So we are going in this election knowing very well that Ghanaians need NPP for Ghana to be successful. And therefore, everybody, whether you voted for me, whether you didn't vote for me, we should all come together so we prosecute a one NPP campaign. But this is Bantama. We make our own decisions. Nobody can come here and tell us what to do. Bantama, it is Bantama, the only constituency that won all the polling stations in the constituency for NPP. No other party did that for the MP. No other constituency did that for the NPP. And I can pledge that we are going to do the same thing in 2024. The same thing. So, Bantama is going to be great. Bantama is going to be great. And Bantama is going to remain and continue to be the rising city on the hill, the rising city on the world. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
So, the Member of Parliament for Bantama Constituency, Francis Asam-Asensubwache, has been re-elected as parliamentary candidate for the New Patriotic Party. And what you heard there was his victory speech here at Bantama Cultural Center. He is flanked by his wife and other members of the campaign team, and they are very excited about the victory they have today, and he's marching all of them outside. And from the information I'm getting, the excitement and the party will continue elsewhere within the Bantama constituency. We will continue to be within the premises of the cultural center where the election itself took place, and we update you on what happens here subsequently. From Bantama constituency for Joy News, my name is Nanaya Ojima.
Well, thank you very much, Nanaya. Let's now, at least that point being made by Francis Asensubwache, first time that they have retained a member of parliament. There's always a change on the fan belt. But let's head now to Botiano Englishi Amanfro. Sylvester Tete, my colleague Sweetie Abochi, had an interaction with him just a few days ago, and he was very expectant that he would be retained. My colleague Maxwell Agbagbay is on the ground. Maxwell, what is the picture? What is happening in Botiano Englishi Amanfro? Hello, Maxwell. Maxwell, if you can hear me, I'm asking what is the latest development in that constituency? Do you have any results to share with us?
Yes, Benjamin. So the voting just ended here in the Botiano English Mountain. There's been a lot of jubilation and celebration for the supporters of the incumbent member of Parliament for this area, Sylvester Tete, who, from the record and from what we've seen, is the winner of this particular contest in this constituency. I've seen the final collation sheet. The ECs have put it 1 and 2 together, but the jubilation, is continuing unabated. Earlier, we spoke to him, and he said that he's very excited that he's won this particular contest. Coming prior to the contest, many thought that he was going to win, especially because senior executives of the party executives here in this constituency were not in support of his candidature. He talked about machinations against his candidature. So he's particularly excited that against all odds, he's been able to retain the candidature, and represent the NPP in this constituency in the 2024 election. Now, Benjamin,
Maxwell Agbagba, so we can hear only snippets of what you're sharing. We'll try to reconnect with you so that we can get a clearer picture of what is going on in Botiano English Amanfro. But also here in Accra, let's go over to Dom-Kwabenya, that thorny situation. Adwoa Safo locking horns with Mike Ocquaye Jr. Samuel Mbura is on hand. Mbura, there was a time when you started speaking, we couldn't get much. So if you could just go back and walk us through what exactly has happened in Dom-Kwabenya, we'd be grateful. Samuel.
Yeah, Benjamin, I earlier indicated that this constituency is the constituency with the highest number of voters in the NPP election and also nationally. They boast about over 180,000 when it comes to the national election. When it comes to the NPP internal elections, about 1,840 are expected to cast their ballots. Right now, we don't know the exact number that have cast their ballots, but at the moment, they are done with the voting and the sorting is currently underway, heavily guarded by the Ghana Police Service. They've taken charge of the security arrangement. But I must say, it has been an incident-free exercise so far since morning, although they did not start early. They started around 7:20 because there were delays in the arrival of some of the materials and all that. But what I can say is that voting has ended. We had the national chairman, Stephen Ayesu, in team coming to visit here, and he's still here. He engaged the 3 aspirants, Adwoa Safo, Mike Ocquaye Jr., the current CEO of the Ghana Free Zones Authority, and then another big weight or heavyweight coming from the First Lady's office. She is Sheila Sachi. She's actually a lawyer by profession and a development consultant. So these are the 3 people slagging it out there. But it is actually an atmosphere of uncertainty here. Although some of the aspirants, some of the delegates are of the view that Adwoa Safo has outlived her work as a member of parliament because of the issues that happened about a year ago, duties in office and all matters that came out, and then the party felt she had neglected the party for her own interests and all that. Some people are riding on that to punish her. Others also think that, fine, we can give or bring a new face to lead the constituency, but they are not specific, although the majority I've spoken to are pointing to, Michael Ocquaye Jr., whom they said has already contested in the previous election. They think that he's also committed and can lead the party. But elections are full of surprises, so anything can actually happen. We also know that one of the critical factors that played for Adwoa Safo in the previous election had to do with the Kennedy-Japan factor. We know he was in this constituency. He was able to talk to some delegates, and then she won that election just by 8 votes against Mike Ocquaye Jr. And here's the case. He's not here to campaign fiscally, and some are pointing fingers that is likely to affect her. So these are the interpretations so far being read out there. These are the projections people are making. But I must say the general feeling is that it's like the people, the odds are going up against the current MP. But I said elections are not absolute until the results are declared. So we are waiting patiently for them to finish the sorting. Although as they do the sorting, I can see that some of the supporters of the aspirants are giggling and then raising their hands in anticipation of jubilation and victory. But at the moment, they are still sorting. After that, the counting will continue, and then the declaration would be made. But the tension is not that heavy here. People are going about doing their usual activities whilst putting their ears and eyes on what the outcome of the results will be. So Benjamin, for now, what I can report is that the voting has ended. Sorting is underway in Ghana's populous constituency, Dom-Kwabenya. We are waiting for the declaration of the results by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. But the national chairman himself is here in the constituency, waiting for this declaration to be made.
That is Samuel Mbura on the ground in Dom-Kwabenya, bringing us the latest from there. In a short bit, I'll give you some of the details that we're getting, some of the results we're getting from different constituencies. But for now, Yendi, which has the Member of Parliament in the person of Farouk Aliyu Mahama, is boiling. There is some chaos there. Let's cross over and have an interaction with my colleague Martina Bugri. Martina, what exactly has been happening in Yendi?
Now the elections has been disrupted. They started counting after sorting out, and then they had gone 226 for the incumbent MP. One of the guys of his opponent jumped into the center where the counting was being done and accused a young man or the EC official who was holding the papers of Abibata that he was having indelible ink in his hand and he was deliberately spoiling her papers. While that confrontation was going on, others joined him. They took over the ballot papers for Farouk. They destroyed everything, vandalized the place, and as far as beating up the EC officer who was doing the counting. Some media persons were also attacked in the process. Currently, we have moved from the Yendi Senior High School, where the election was taking place, to the police station, where the police officers and some people they had picked are currently in the bus. They are being stopped from exiting out of the bus. The police station, people are beginning to march up there, and there's a fear that probably there will be some attacks in the city.
So you're telling me that, just to ensure that I got everything correctly, the counting for Farouk Aliyu Mahama had hit 226. Then someone from the Shani Abibata's camp yes, felt that this EC official was using indelible ink to spoil her votes, and so he jumped on this person. Others jumped in and they beat up this EC official, and some media people have also been beaten up. That's what you're saying?
That's exactly what happened. So as we speak now, we have all moved to the police station. We do not know what's going to happen from here, but that's where the media team is seeking refuge.
So where were the police officers when all of this was happening?
The police officers were there. They tried to stop them, but it looks like they overpowered them, even though they had the numbers. They jumped in, decided to destroy whatever they came across. They even moved the police officers to their vehicle. There was this back and forth. The police officers didn't have arms, so there was nothing like firing to scare anybody. And so that probably could be one of the reasons why they overpowered them.
Well, of course, we wouldn't want any firing in any instance, but thank you very much. So as of now, there's a standoff. Counting is not going on. We don't know what the situation is, and definitely there are no results to be declared.
Yes, I mean, for now they have destroyed the ballot papers, so there's nothing to even count.
They've destroyed all the ballot papers?
Yes, they destroyed the ballot papers, so there's nothing to count.
Have you seen Farouk Aliyu Mahama or any of his representatives in that area?
Yes, for now, he moved with his team to the police station. I'm trying to get into the crowd to see if I'll be able to have access to him so that we can have a conversation.
You do that, but do clarify for me, how many delegates voted here?
I didn't get that.
How many delegates were there voting in Yendi?
790 people, but we are told that 7 passed on, and so they were left with 783 who were supposed to do the voting today.
782.
83.
83.
Yes.
Well, Martina, I'll leave you for now. till you can get maybe the Member of Parliament, Farouk Aliu Mahama, or members of his team, so we can have an interaction and find out what exactly, what the sentiments are on this. Martin Abugri reporting live from Yendi, where I reiterate, voting had been concluded. There was some sort of sorting or counting going on. And then one of those in Shani Abibata's camp said that he suspected. At the point when Farouk Aliu Mahama had already counted, those counting for him had counted 226 votes, this person said he had seen that the EC official counting for Shani Abibata was using indelible ink to destroy. You know, once there's another marking, it is deemed invalid. Destroy the votes of Shani Abibata. So he pounced on him. Others followed suit. They beat this EC official. I don't know whether to say to a pulp, but they also attacked members of the media. And the police officers tried their best, but they were overwhelmed by the situation and they had to step aside. According to Martina Bugri, what she's been telling us, the ballots have been completely destroyed. So that means that in Yendi, we're not going to be getting the figures anytime soon. There may have to be another election there. Let me come into the studio briefly before we continue on this journey. Some other results, though, that we are seeing here. If you look at Ibrim in the eastern region, interesting situation there. I see John Osei Frimpong with 116 votes, Charles Oredu with 192 votes, and then Frank Ahima Mreku with 148, the least contender Daniel with 56. So all of them in the hundreds, a keen contest there. We also have some results coming through from Pru West, another interesting one. Honorable Stephen Jalula, you know him, Deputy Minister, 336 votes. These are provisional for now. Honorable Idris Garba, 80. And the total votes cast, 416. So that makes for interesting reading as well. Then there's also Sunyani West in the Bono region. Ignatius Bafo Ewua, 660. Then you have Amma Frimpoma, 244, and then Mubarak Abdallah, 75. So a landslide victory for Ignatius Bafo Ewa. I wanted to come back. I didn't want to forget this. Yes. In Bantama, because Bantama is crucial. There's a reason your party members call it Florida in the Ashanti region.
That is so.
One, Francis Asenso-Boakye, the axe hanging over his head of Kennedy Japan. Now, does this erode Kennedy's power within the NPP? Two, there's this bit about camping that has been in there. I mean, on D-Day, you say people are praying, coming together to pray. Does that not contravene what your party has been saying? Just your thoughts on that, and then I'll take you to Dom-Kwabenya.
Yes, certainly. Camping is not a right thing to do, and that's why there's a rule that you shouldn't camp people, because you deprive the other candidates of the opportunity to liaise and hobnob with the delegates.
But the victor, Francis Asenso-Boakye, from all intents and purposes, this is what happened. What then happens? It appears they do this and get away with it. The party says, but they do it and get away with it.
Well, if you look at it, if the evidence is conclusive, they know the disciplinary actions to take. But I'm afraid I don't know the nature of the campaign, especially on the D-Day, the very, very, very moment that we believe, people should be free to do what is important. If somebody prevents the other, for example, talking to them or doing something else, then it leaves much to be desired. But I don't have all the facts. But it's a principle that we should all uphold. Yeah.
Let me take you to Dom-Kwabenya. Of course, 180,000 nationally, and you have 840 delegates of the NPP in that constituency. If you lose your grip on Dom-Kwabenya, it could go terrible for your party, both on the presidential and parliamentary level. You have Mike Ocquaye, who has tried for this seat time without number in the last election, losing by a paltry 8 votes or so, versus Adwoa Safo, whom some say has lost her grip because of the incident surrounding. I don't want to go into all that. What is your reading of that constituency, and do you think maybe it is time for Adwoa Safo to step aside?
Well, from the way I see it, I never even thought that Adwoa was going to go.
You didn't think Adwoa Safo would go?
I never thought she was going to go because of, if you like, the background matters we know. And I thought maybe she's even giving up and she's ended her career as an MP. But she decided to go.
But wait. You say she should have, maybe you expected her to hang her boots. But guess what? When she returned after everything that had happened, your party, you accepted her, brought her back into Parliament, and made her a deputy chair of a very powerful, committee, constitutional, legal, and parliamentary affairs. You made her deputy. What did that mean?
Because that is different from she being the most credible parliamentary candidate for 2024. Because for all you know, because of the hanged parliament, that could be a note of confidence that, look, with this legal work, which she has the expertise because she's a lawyer of some repute, she could do it. But that dimension does not translate in making her the the parliamentary candidate for 2024. There are two different issues altogether. And you know what it is like that, look, do not abandon your parliamentary work.
If you may, just give me a little bit of time. Ayawaso Central, where we actually find ourselves now, the MP, Henry Ocquaye, is speaking. Let's find out what he has to say.
And reporting has not won elections. The NPP will have a serious agenda ahead of us. That agenda is to prosecute the 2024 agenda. So, by the grace of God, the NPP make history by breaking the eight. This is my focus. And so, I want to thank all my customers, all the thank them, those who voted for me, those who did not vote. I also want to congratulate Moses Abo. He's a young man. It's okay to also try and assess the course, and I admire him for that. But we have an agenda, and so as early as next week, I will do my best to start bringing all the people together so we can have a united Adwoa Safo, inshallah, for 2024 elections. All right. Thank you very much. So, Gordon, wait.
Well, welcome back. That was Ayawaso Central Member of Parliament, also the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Ocquaye. He went toe-to-toe with Moses Abo, and there were issues of accreditation here and there. Interestingly, I saw Titus Glover in the background there. But what did you make of the situation with accreditation and some strong-armed tactics from Henry Ocquaye?
Yes, you see, the accreditation bit is not too important for the actual delegates who are supposed to vote. So some people might want to come and stampede the process by saying that we want to be part of those who are accredited to be in the critical area where the action is taking place. And that could create confusion. Because you see, if you are a delegate, you are known and you probably have your tag, you can just walk in there, they take you, go and vote. But those who are vying for accreditation, so they'll be in the circumference of the voting, may cause mayhem. And the question is question that, please, you will not be given the accreditation and you will hear the results later in time. That should not disturb you because you are not going to vote. So why is this mad rush for accreditation?
A quick one though, Yendi. Yendi is boiling. And you heard that situation. The voting, the counting of votes has stopped, come to a standstill. EC official attacked, media people attacked, police made to step aside. What do you make of that situation? Because initially we also saw footage of TV sets, smart TV sets with the pictures of the Member of Parliament, Farouk Aliu Mohammed, and all of that. It appears you have quite a problem on your hands in Yendi.
I think so. This is something that at least expected from that constituency. And mayhem should never be part of our politics, especially when we are voting. And I think they should look into this matter critically. They should see whether there was a security breach because people should respect the police with the greatest of respect. There's nowhere in this world that the police is present and people can visit mayhem on a situation. If it is Electoral Commission official who is being a criminal, trying to destroy somebody's chances of winning, there's a way to deal with the matter. But when ordinary civilians take over a process of this nature, we should look at it from every dimension, especially if there was a security lapse of one kind or the other.
And we're getting some interesting reports because one of the media people assaulted is claiming, and this is a claim for now, but there is a claim that he was actually assaulted by Farouk Aliu Mahama himself. Of course, we'll have to establish that. But that is what our correspondent is reporting as of now in respect of that incident. I did tell you that in Yendi, media people had also been assaulted. That is the situation.
Very distasteful.
You see, so if this is confirmed, I mean, what does this mean? What actions does the party take when these things happen? A sitting member of parliament, if it is established that he assaulted a media person and all of this has happened, I mean, what do you make of it?
That will be very serious, because even that is in the criminal books, if you went ahead and did what is being attributed to him. But let the whole drama unfold and be able to get a grip of it. But I will tell you that it is very unfortunate. It should be incident-free. And this is what we are expecting for the general election. That it should be as simple like you going to dial, calling somebody on mobile phone. It's a dial away. Going to vote is just going to put your thumb on a paper and then we walk off. We should never have violence associated with our democratic decisions.
But I'm asking your party structures, what happens to such people? It doesn't matter whose ox is God. What happens?
There definitely should be disciplinary action if the evidence is conclusive that somebody might have engineered the mayhem. Nobody should applaud this. I mean, nobody should say that, oh, it is all right. It doesn't speak very well of us and the entire nation as well.
Well, from what we hear in the Subing constituency, parliamentary candidate lawyer Kofi Obri Yeboah has been speaking. Ignatius Bafwewa, I already mentioned that in Sunyani West. We also know of the Adanse Asokwa situation. In fact, when it also comes to Nshaya, so Dr. Stephen Amwa, the declaration of results, 650 there, 78.22%. But I'll get into those figures later. I think I may need to refer to those that I have on the other term. There are other interesting constituencies for which we'll be looking at least we've seen in Bantama, we've seen in Shiayosu, we've seen Adanse Asokwa and a few others. But there are some, we've also seen in Sawam, Eduajiri,
very interesting.
In the Frankanodompre. Actually,
I expected that.
It was a beat down.
Oh, yes.
You expected that?
Oh, yes. He's a huge figure of our party, to be very honest. A hard-working, leader of our group. I was sometimes surprised that a man like this should be challenged. I don't believe in some of these wholesale, primaries.
But it's a democratic process.
Well, a democratic process that works against you ultimately, injurious to the process, is not the best. You see, this omnibus thinking that, when it's democracy, let's go and vote. You should look at it again, because you will need some strategic people which ultimately will inure to your benefit. And I believe Anodonpre is one of them. Very good, hard-working individual. That I believe that the seat should have been ring-fenced for him.
When you go to the eastern region, Ebuakwa South, Kingsley, Ajemene, 563, Gloria, Ofori, Bwedu, Poultry, 29. That was also another beat down, akin to your constituency, akin. Not the same, but akin to your constituency. So it looks like a beat down there of Gloria, Ofori, Bwedu in there. And taking a look at other results, let's look at the one from Ayawaso Central in the Greater Accra region. Of course, you would find Henry Kwate there with 594 of the valid votes cast, and of course, Moses Abor with 326, a total of 920 votes cast. Are you surprised at the inroads that Moses Abor made? I mean, it's over 268, 269, but it's still getting 326 votes. It paints a picture, right?
It does. And it gets to a point that you realize that those who are making their debut or they've tried it before will edge close. But bear in mind also that this individual called Henry Kwate is not a featherweight.
Yeah, but some have said that he's not necessarily performed, apart from his bit about, cleaning Accra and all of that, which has waned, by the way, and Accra is still not the cleanest city in Africa. That apart from that, there's nothing to show.
You see, what is the consequence of having performed or not having performed? Some people believe that when you become a minister, the resources of Ghana are yours, and you can go into your backyard and turn it into Great Britain. It's hard. Some people don't understand what it is to be in government and what you can do and what you cannot do. So I'm afraid people have huge expectations. Some people believe that when you get a minister, then all the problems in your constituency will be solved in a day. It's far from that. It's not logical at all.
In Pru West, I believe I went there once. So we have Stephen Jalula with 336 of those valid votes. Idris Garba with 80. The total votes cast 416. Kwewun Prayeso constituency, we have Honorable Davis Opoku Ansa. We all know him as APK, 470 of those votes. Then Dr. Yao 24, 163, rejected 6. Total ballot cast 641 out of some 668 delegates. We'll keep bringing you the latest that we have. You're still live on your election headquarters right here on Joy News. It's brought to you, this coverage is brought to you courtesy of Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. So we'll try to get the feed from other constituencies. Dom-Kwabenya is still on our radar. We are waiting for sorting, counting to be done. But another interesting constituency here in the Greater Accra region, one of the places that you would want to know that if a party is winning, it also points in a certain direction, both as parliamentary, at the parliamentary level and at the presidential level. Ablekuma West, and you know why I'm going there. Ursula Owusu Ekofo throwing down Kwesi Neko, 817 to 241 votes. That's a beat down of almost 600 votes by way of a difference. How good are you, a friend to Ursula Owusu Ekofo? She's a bit of a character. Yes, a bit of a character.
Oh my God!
And of course, you see her a lot. If it's not about the former president, you see her a lot on the LGBT matters as well. But what do you make of this? Quite a stamp of approval.
Yes. If you ask me, her intellectual bent is amazing. That's the dimension I love about her. She has a strong mental capacity, and I think she's also forthright. But a lot of things can be said about a politician. Sometimes your forthrightness could be interpreted as arrogance, quarrelsome, the rest of it. It's all a way to look at a personality. But the net effect is that she's a good brain, and we can always use her for good results. If there are any things that we want to look at again concerning her, it can be overhauled. But I don't think ultimately she's a washout. I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
So
a major plus.
We know that she'll be going back to Parliament. At least she'll be contesting in the 2024 elections. Let me just run this by you, though. When you look at the way things are heading, and I've told you that already, big wigs in government are losing. And maybe as we approach the 4th hour, we'll get to see more of those who have lost. I don't know what credibility that gives or takes away from your party heading into election 2024. Another constituency we just might be taking a look at is Weija-Gbawe, the tenant landlady situation, Tina Mensah. And as and when we're ready to cross over there, we'll do that. But any quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've even gotten a hint that she's lost.
Tina Mensah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And we'll be giving confirmations on that shortly.
Amazing. Yeah.
All right, so we'll give you more information as and when we have it. And here we go. Here we have it. Greater Accra, Weija-Gbawe. And these are the figures to look at. You see Tina G. Na Ayele Mensah, a.k.a. the landlady, with 361 of those valid votes cast, and Jerry Ahmed Shaib with 786. This is a monumental beatdown. Indeed, the tenant has taken out the landlady. That is the tale of the tape there. 1,147 votes there. Total valid votes, total rejected votes 4, and the total votes there 1,151. 786 to 361. Right. And so that is the latest as far as Weija-Gbawe is concerned. Did you see this coming? I mean, I've been in that constituency reporting on a few things in the past. Even if she would lose, not by this margin.
It's huge. I knew I'd be very Shakespearean. For the first time here, monumental vita. Like writing poetry, But let me tell you something that is about this whole business of politics. Sometimes you can't be sure. I've seen
goes back to Sir John.
Yes. You can't be sure. Maybe, you are thinking that you are in charge, but maybe they resent you with a passion, and because the secret ballot, it will show. So
but Tina Mensah has had a grip on this constituency,
and
she's owned it. It's surprising that if she would lose, not by it's a margin of about what 400 plus votes.
There's a
about 425 votes from if my mathematics are correct.
That's indicative of a pent-up anger against her that she never realized. Because you see, the votes reflect how they see you, how they feel about you, and how they think about you. And you can't do anything about it. So the vote is registering something strong against my dear lady, and it's unfortunate. I just saw a text that she's taking it in a stride.
Right.
That is all life is about.
Okay.
We got to move on.
Move on, we shall. We'll come back to you. Let's head to Ablekuma West now. I was talking about that constituency a short while ago. The EC is declaring Ursula Owusu-Ekufo. Let's cross over.
And these are the statistics so far. Now, the general turnout. We had in the register, the total number of delegates is 1,108. Delegate number 1,108. Now, number that turn out to vote is 1,078. 1,078. So in percentage terms, it is 97.2% turnout. Now, let's take the votes obtained by each of these candidates. Candidate number 1, Ursula Gifty Owusu-Ekufo, had 817 votes. Candidate number 2, Ronnie Kwesi Noko, had 241. Now, so candidate elect is Madam Ursula Owusu-Ekufo. If she is here, please, she should come. So vote obtained 817 out of valid votes of 1,058. So, by the power vested in me as the municipal electoral officer and on behalf of the Electoral Commission, I declare Ursula Owusu-Ekufo parliamentary candidate elect for Ablekuma West. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Well, that's the latest from there, and I'm still trying to confirm this, but we're gathering information that in the Subin constituency, more bigwigs are falling. It appears your deputy is not in the best of shape right now.
At all.
Your deputy is also bleeding, eh?
Oh, my God and King. I never expected that they would treat him this way.
And why not? You just said it. Delegates are very fickle, and it depends on what they are looking for. And especially if you are rolling over, they may opt for another person in your stead.
Oh my God, that's a huge disappointment. But what I know for sure, that if there's nothing untoward, you take it in your stride, and you never abandon your loyalty to the party, and that you put all your resources behind the flag bearer, so we break the aid. So this is the advice I'll give. As for pain, it's part of humanity. If you've never been pained before, you are in the cemetery. And I'm sure if you people, I don't know about what the dead are doing there, you know, but I could assure you that pain is part of life. So you take it in your stride, not lose your sense of where we are going as a party, and give your best to the party. It is not only in parliament that you can function for the party and the government. That's my sense of it.
All right, we're crossing over now to Weija-Gbawe, and of course, the tenant who has uprooted the landlady. Let's cross over there. Kenneth JC is on hand.
That is the newly elected MP to a newly elected parliamentary candidate of the New Patriotic Party in the Weija-Gbawe constituency. The Chief Executive Officer of Coastal Development Authority, Ahmed Jerry, who has just unseated the incumbent MP, Tina Mensah, who is also the Deputy Minister for Health. Ahmed, you're live on Joy News. Share a few words with us. You are very emotional. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
What's going through your mind?
It's not been an easy fight. It's been a very tough one. And I just thank God for helping me through. And most importantly, thank each and every polling station executive that made this a reality. So yeah, it hasn't been an easy task really.
You got over 300 of the delegates voting for the incumbent MP, Tina Mensah. That means that she still has some support in the constituency. How are you going to ensure that now that you've won, you're going to bring them on board for the bigger picture?
She's not. I would not want to say she's a big person in this contest. So to come from behind and garner this number of votes, it rather means I've done well. So I'm kind of surprised that you are not actually looking at how many votes I made as compared to how many as compared to how many people voted against me, if you so wish to describe it like that. I think that it wasn't an easy contest, and she's not a little girl in this contest, you know. So whatever it is, we did our part. What is more important is that she has to be on board, and it would take me to get her to be on board, and it would take the council, it would take the polling station executives for us all to be on board. So whichever way it is, we all have to work for the New Patriotic Party, and especially against the backdrop that we want to break the 8. So yeah, I'll definitely call on her and have a very beautiful chat and to see how best we can work together.
Thank you very much. So that is the newly elected parliamentary candidate of the NPP in the Weija-Gbawe constituency here in the Greater Accra region, Jerry Ahmed, who has just unseated the incumbent MP, Tina Mensah, who is also the Deputy Minister for Health. So there you have it in short. She left quite early. She left about 30 minutes before the results were declared, but Jerry's supporters started jubilating even before the declaration was made. And you can see scores of supporters of Jerry still standing around, hanging around to congratulate their newly elected parliamentary candidate heading into the 2024 elections on December 7th. Benjamin.
Tale of the tape from Weija-Gbawe constituency. Tina Mensah is not going to stand in the name of the New Patriotic Party. There's a new face, a new kid on the block, if you like. He's in the person of Jerry Ahmed. This is someone you know, in a way, right?
Yes, I know him very well. First of all, he has this calm disposition. affable man, and he has a task, When you have...
and we saw that calm disposition at play.
Yes.
One thing I liked, how he said, very calm about what it would take to bring Tina Mensah back into the fold. But because, like Kenneth said, 30 minutes to the declaration, she left.
Well, obviously, she's not comfortable with the outcome. But when the nerves are relaxed and he should retire, one thing is at stake, that we break the 8. If you want to break the 8, your pride or your head does not matter. What matters is what is the ultimate benefit of getting Dr. Bawumia as president. We should look at that. So you go back and bond. That is what I believe all those who have lost and those who've won, they should have a bonding. Because all the supporters of the one who won will matter in the arithmetic. And all the supporters of those who lost will matter in the arithmetic. It is that kind of unity of purpose which will tip into the 50+1 and you have a president from your party again. So we shouldn't be that kind of individuals that we believe we've won primaries and that's the end of it. We should be those individuals who cross to the other side and get the loser to partner with you so the numbers should go up.
I'm still looking at Anyaso Utuom and my own friend, Dr. Adoma Kukisi, and as well as Professor Nyako in the Kwadaso constituency to see how things actually pan out in those areas, those constituencies. At least we know that for Botiano English Amanfo, Sylvester Tete has actually made it through. Eshlo Usu Ekofu has made it through. Katie Amand has made it through. Anansi Asokwa, Francis Asenso Boache, among others. There's also this bit I wanted to quickly run by you. 2 bits. Money and violence in our politics. They are becoming synonymous with Ghanaian politics, no matter the level. Now, even at the local government, local governance or the local elections, it is creeping there. You have people cooking. There was a lady, the local elections, who cooked, and people didn't come. All sorts of influence, money and violence, like you just saw in Yendi. What do you make of it? How do we do away with this?
It's a very wretched development of our body politic, and we should look at it. In the first instance, I am of the view that people should have reverence for the police. Anywhere in the world, when you see police presence, then all your funny things should be checkmated. You don't have to go there. But when we know that we have the security personnel around, and we ignore the power of the police, or even if it were soldiers, then that's a total law and order breakdown, which portends ill for a nation. So I am of the view that we should respect the police, and the police should be strong on the ground as well. If they should see any form of violence trying to raise ugly hairs, they should be able to arrest it and deal with it. It shouldn't come to a point in which somebody is bold to go and take a whole ballot box, destroy it totally, beat up an EC official. With
a claim that the member of parliament assaulted a journalist.
Yes,
a claim.
With a claim. Yes.
And I'm being very careful.
Yes, I'm
choosing my words carefully. When it's confirmed, then we can declare.
And also, I mean, if there's a journalist and the journalist has been beaten up. But my problem is this. Do you have the police spectating or providing security? We should look at it. It's very important.
And how do you feel, though? I mean, the police are not armed, and I feel it is justified.
Well, depending on the sensitivity of the area, because a warning shot is sufficient to tame a wild dog. We are aware. You see, so if the police did not have understanding of the terrain and the propensities of the people in the area, for me, it's a security breach. Understand? Because if you said you went there with bare hands, knowing that these pockets of violence are notorious in certain areas, they should be well prepared so that nobody, takes the law into his own hands. But for money, my dear brother and friend, I don't know how to start and end. It's a huge concern. Somebody asked me that, what do you say about vote buying?
And all this thing about TNT and everything in between. Because a lot of them buy votes claiming it is TNT. You go and look in there. I mean, people have wads of cash thousands of CDs, 2,000. Someone is giving 200. Another person is giving 500.
So is it vote buying or cash demanding? You should look at it too.
I mean, it's always a give and take situation.
If you have a scenario in which nobody wants money, but they are looking at values, they are upright man, a man with competence to aid us when it's parliament, a man who is development oriented. Understand? Would they say that, I mean, we want money and then you get in there to help us? So we shouldn't just sit down and say that, oh, somebody is buying vote, because some people are actually demanding. It's something that is a two-way thing that we should all look at critically. If we are not careful, then you lose the fact that, somebody wants to come and use money to buy a seat in parliament.
Right.
But for all you care to know, there is some hungry man somewhere who believes that this is cocoa season. And if you didn't give him anything, probably will not vote for you. This phenomenon.
It's a demand and supply situation. Yeah. We've created a demand.
It's something that is also cast across the political divide. If you paid regard to what happened to the NDC parliamentary primaries recently, I have friends in there who also complain about this terrible phenomenon.
Okay, let me pardon my interjection here. One constituency that a lot of you, via the live feed and others, you are calling for, Dom-Kwabenya, there just might be a surprise for you. But let's not call it. We'll be crossing over there shortly. The declaration is about to be made there in Dom-Kwabenya. You know, it's a straight fight between Adwoa Safo, some call her the returnee, and of course, there is also Mike Ocquaye Jr. Samuel Mbura is on the ground. We'll be connecting with him shortly to tell us what exactly is happening in that constituency, as and when we have him for the declaration. But what are your expectations? I'm seeing something already, but I cannot announce yet. I'll let Samuel Mbura do that. What are your expectations? Adwoa Safo, Mike Ocquaye Jr., what are you expecting?
My dear brother and friend, I can't be too sure.
Right.
You know, because of the fact that the dynamics on the ground will change overnight.
Okay.
So I'll just abide what you've received, and then we'll see how we move on. Because
all right.
It's a very strategic constituency. We shouldn't toy with it.
All right. So here we are. There are quite some things that are emanating, but we'll cross over now to Samuel Mbura. I've seen some figures. I'll like us to hear from the horse's own mouth. Samuel Mbura, over to you. What is the picture in Dom-Kwabenya?
The polling station A in the Dom-Kwabenya constituency is that Mike Ocquaye Jr. has 569 votes. Adwoa Safo had 102 votes. The third candidate, Sheila Opon, had 113 votes. So this is the provisional results that we have in the polling station A. We are waiting for the polling station B, then we can add. But what I can say is that with the provisional results that we have, Michael Ocquaye Jr. is leading the race with over 569 votes so far as the provisional results we have here can confirm. We are waiting patiently for the EC to do that. But there's already some powder being poured on Mike Ocquaye Jr. here. He's already been, he's already been cheered up here. Honorable, what information are you getting? What information are you getting? What's the information you are getting, Honorable? From police station A, we can see that you are leading. Tell us, what is your information giving you? Honorable. So, Benjamin, I have Mr. Ocquaye Jr. here. So, Honorable.
It's okay. It's okay. It's only one person.
Okay, so it's quite noisy here. Honorable, we are seeing that your supporters are cheering you up. What do we know? What do we know, Honorable? And the provisional result. All right, so the police are somehow apprehensive here. They are asking the media to move out of the barricaded area. But what I can say is that so far, they are pouring powder on Ocquaye Jr. here. Provisional results are coming in, but the police will not allow us into the inner parameters of the voting center here, where the collation is underway. But like I said, the provisional results is pointing out to a win for Mike Ocquaye Jr. He has 569 as against Adwoa Safo, who is the incumbent, 102. Even the third force, Sheila Opon, had 113 votes there. So that's what we have from the polling station A there. So let me try and get closer to Mike Ocquaye Jr. to talk to us on this. He's addressing the media briefly. He's talking to some of my colleagues, but the police will not allow us to go. The place is actually choked. They wouldn't allow us to go. But let me just get to him. Honorable.
So what did you tell the delegates for them to be convinced this much?
First of all,
so what did you tell the delegates this time around?
First of all, I want to start by saying thank you to God, because I know this battle belongs to God. I don't want to say too much, but I believe it is God who helped to win this election. I want to say a big thank you to the delegates of Dom-Kwabenya. I want to tell them that I'm very grateful for the responsibility that they reposed in me. I want to thank my family, my father, my brothers for their support, because that was very helpful as well.
Honorable, are you overwhelmed by the votes? Are you overwhelmed by the votes?
How will you describe the struggle to come this far?
The Electoral Commission is yet to announce the results, but all indications indicate that Mr. Mike Ocquaye Jr. has won the election. So I'm getting the other provisional results to conclude. If you look at it, Secretary, let me try and get the Secretary of the all right, Secretary, can I have that? So, like I said, for the provisional results we have here, Honorable Mike Ocquaye Jr. has won. This is the A, the zone A. So in total, what we are getting here is that Mike Ocquaye Jr., the first one he had 569, the second followed by Sheila Sechiopon 113, Adwoa Safo 102, and then the next polling station,
Mike Ocquaye had this.
The next polling station he had 625. That's the police station B. So police station B, he has 625. Mike Ocquaye Jr. Adwoa Safo has 226 in that particular police station. The Sheila had 73. The rejected ballots are 4. So we are waiting for the original declaration so far. But let me talk to the Constituency Secretary on this issue. Mr. Chiolabi, you are live on Joy News. Tell us, what do you know?
Basically, I'm excited. Dom-Kwabenya people have decided, delegates have listened to the local people. So I think we are going to break the 8. Out of 1,716 people who voted today, Michael Ocquaye had 1,194. 1,194. Honorable Adwoa Safo had 328, and Sheila Oponsechi had 186. It's a massive victory for the NPP. It's a massive victory for the NPP. Going forward, I think what we have to do as a party is to unite all of them, the 3 candidates and their followers, and we'll make sure we break the 8. We'll make sure we retain our seat as a party in this constituency.
Are you surprised about the change?
I am not. Most radio stations that have interviewed me during the week, that has been my message. We were expecting a change because the local people, the constituents themselves are fed up with the honorable member of parliament, and that is what has been translated in this vote that we're seeing today. And we thank everyone. We thank you all for coming. I am a leader, and a leader must show a way. So I was showing the people the right way to go. Because if the people at Domi Market say they don't want her, they're hooting at us. What are you talking about leadership? What are you talking about neutrality? I want my party to win, so I have to listen to the grassroots. I am a delegate too, so I have to speak the minds of the grassroots, and that's what exactly I'm doing.
What message really resonated with the delegates to do this change?
The people say they don't like her again. If you bring her as a candidate, we'll vote against her. And that is what they listened to, and that's what exactly they have done.
Right. So what is the signal to the NDC?
No. The constituents asked for a change before they can retain us this seat. And we've given them the change they want. They asked for Mike Ocquaye, and we've delivered Mike Ocquaye. So we are asking every delegate, every party member, every supporter, whoever you are, come support NPP, break the 8, and we'll give you the development.
It's going to confirm that there were machinations to punish Adwoa Safo for neglecting the party.
It's a free and fair election. You've been here from morning and you're talking about machination. There hasn't been any protest or nothing. This is nothing to talk about. This is not machination. This is real election. Peaceful, free, and fair.
Look at the margin in which she has lost. It's significant.
Tells you that people have rejected you. It's as simple as ABCD. People have rejected you.
So, Benjamin, that is the Constituency Secretary, Theophilus Labi, talking to us there. They are happy about the results. They say the defeat of Sarah Adwoa Safo has not actually come as a surprise because they think that the people have spoken and that is the voice of the people. The next step is now to get into a 2024 general election and face the NDC. We are yet to get a certified results from the Electoral Commission of Ghana. But as we speak now, Dom-Kwabenya constituency is charged, and then the NPP is sending their parliamentary candidate who has just been elected, Mike Ocquaye Jr., to his residence. They are currently on the principal street of around the Atomic area there. The people are jubilant, but I can't see Sarah Adwoa Safo around. She has left here. I can't also see the other, contender, Sheila Opon said she's over there. I'll try and get to Sheila and then find out from her, but maybe some delegates too can also share with us what they make of this whole election so far, whether they are satisfied with the outcome or not. But I must say, generally, the people are not surprised about the outcome. As I said earlier, there were earlier indications that they wanted to punish Sarah Adwoa Safo for neglecting the party. So that is the current situation that we have here. I'll try and talk to some of the delegates around here and also get to Madam Sheila as well. Let me try and get here. I'm here, Honorable. So, all right, so let me get to talk to Madam. I think this is my first time of talking to her. I came here in the morning. She wasn't ready. That's a spirited fight for the first time. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, and I thank God very much for everything. And I'd like to thank the electorate in Dom-Kwabenya. They've been very good, so I'm thankful. And I wish congratulations to Mr. Ocquaye. He's done very well, and we thank God for everything. And we'll be there. I'll be there to support him, definitely.
How do you feel?
I'm grateful to God for bringing me this far in this journey. It's not been an easy journey, but God has been there.
In one of the polling stations or the voting center, you beat Sarah Adwoa Safo 113, and then she had 102. What does that mean?
Well, I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful to God at this point. So thank you very much. And
so speak to the people of Dom-Kwabenya, speak to the delegates. What message do you have for them?
Thank you very much, Dom-Kwabenya NPP. I'm very grateful for your warm reception, for your kindness, and we live to fight another day. Thank you very much.
I really wish you all the best. You had Sheila Opon said she there, telling us that she has accepted the results. She will support the candidate elect. But let me just talk to some of the delegates around to find out. You are delegates. So how do you feel about the exercise? Are you surprised? Your candidate did not win, but going forward, what are you going to do?
MPP yen nyina baako yen ma mehela upon sechi na edinachi se ko betimi abawene na ode MPP akọ break 8 na man tisa anyeye na ya bra junior Mike Ocquaye awene a yen nyina ya beka bom se de ye ma me aka no me hye ma me atade me support no 100%, but still gabu awene no yen nyina bedinachi.
Let us also find out from you, what do you make of the exercise? Mike has been declared. Are you all going to support him?
Edi yebeboa yebo yenyame asese we nyina aba Mike wakwa eye yen sister Sheila so no afi na waba ye hu so future e wo party no mu. Until next time bia no yenim say yebetuma den obe grow aba a ebe dey support say say onya botere na onya grants adwuma ni ye nyame ya adoma the next year no yehwe junior wetim tutu na me ya for one tutu na me ya e da get the timi say SSM bibia
ma. Also talk to madam good evening, your live on Joy News. E dey na also work on.
Oh, dey work on say ye dey say Kwabenya ya dey say Bantama. So wo batena so na so wan ye die dia 4 years ye be yi we free so. Say hu say we nie dia ye be piam. Madam Sheila say oh a very good woman. Now so you say we lose so am na ha no. Mike Ocquaye or 3 times on your mama lawyer Joseph. But ojina pintin say obekon okono nyame adom. So in
a nutshell, to summarize what they are saying is that yes, Sheila was their candidate. They have supported her. She hasn't won, but they believe that Mike is a good candidate, and then they will support Mike Ocquaye Jr. there. So in the long shot, you see that Mike is actually in his car. Getting some cheers there in his V8, heading towards the election grounds. So it's quite an electrifying atmosphere here. The win of Mike Ocquaye Jr. did not actually come as a surprise because the people earlier indicated that they are fed up with Sarah Adwoa Safo. I remember when I came here 3 days ago, the people were telling me that they needed a change. They need a new person to come and lead the NPP in this constituency because Adwoa Safo has outlived her purpose. She absconded from her duties and does not deserve to lead the party. So everything has been certified here. We'll definitely share with our viewers and our online readers the certified results from the Dom-Kwabenya. So out of the over 1,800 votes, Sarah Adwoa Safo could not even cross the 500 mark and failed. And what Mike Ocquaye Jr. has done is actually significant. And then it has been seen as a mammoth victory. It has been seen as a significant victory for the NPP and Mike Aaron Ocquaye. So I will hand it over back to you, Benjamin and Honorable Samuel Atta Akyea in the studio to continue with the analysis.
Well, thank you very much, Samuel Mburo. Over 1,000 votes, almost 1,200 for Mike Ocquaye Jr., with Sarah Adwoa Safo only mustering less than 400, a little shy of 400. It tells you what exactly people were looking at. I'm coming into the studio now as we get ready to wrap and hand over to Evan Spencer and the rest of the team. Were you in the least bit surprised? I mean, it's quite a gap. Were you in the least bit surprised? Did you expect this result?
Well, it's the gap which is frightening.
But the gap, right.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's also evidence of the pent-up anger of the constituency against my very good friend, Engineer at the bar, Honorable Adwoa Safo. It's something that even should tell you that I keep telling myself all the time. Why is it that Atta Akyea didn't go for the 5th term, you know?
Were you running away from a humiliating defeat?
Not at all. Not at all. I was looking at myself and what I've done so far and my future. Because at the end of the day, there should not be a permanent job. Nobody should say that without you going to parliament, you are useless and you cannot count for society. That's a pathetic fetish we should break away from. So if you have this fetish that if I'm not a member of parliament, I have no consequence, I mean, it leaves much to be desired. So when you have paid your dues, and you have somewhere to go, which will also add to your contribution to the progress of the nation, your family, your church, and God. You can comfortably exit because of the hard fact that you cannot placate the constituency permanently. I think it's common sense.
All right, just a few things to run by you before we hand over. But is there any way for Sarah Adwoa Safo to find her way back into the NPP after this loss? Is there any coming back for Sarah Adwoa Safo?
Well, it's to show that pain is not everything, but wisdom is everything. And therefore, if you've lost, primaries, and you will not disown the one who is won, and toe to toe, foot for foot, you go into places to ensure that we break the 8, that will stand there in good stead. But if we're not careful, pain will so ruin you that you just say that MPP doesn't matter.
So your advice to her would be what?
My advice was that you should cooperate with my great friend, and then they give up their best, and then maximize the votes, because that place is very consequential for MPP. That is when she will begin to count. And if there's anything which is in for her in the future, they'll look at her good works in the constituency, now that she's lost, by way of rewarding her.
Sheila is also coming. But I don't know. Takwa Nswayem, of course, we all know of George Miracle Duka, the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. Now, 1,255 delegates voted there. Can you guess how many probably would have voted for the Takwa Nswayem MP? Can you guess?
Oh, I cannot. I want to,
because this is a wide victory. So let me tell you.
Yeah, okay.
As far as the vote count was concerned, a certain Gordon Opoku Boateng, the last, got 22 votes.
Whoa.
Out of 1,255. Then Francis Ansri Eliason got 46 votes. The remaining 1,187 went to George Miracle Duka. Which also brings me to Subin, where your deputy appears to have Yaeno Pasa Doso.
I can't believe it. My brother friend.
I mean, you've seen a few things that we probably haven't seen. Can you share with us?
Yes, I've seen a margin of about 631. Which is,
that's in Subin.
In Subin. Yeah, what, and to quote you and your Shakespearean powers, monumental beatdown. That is serious. That is serious. It's very unfortunate, but I'll say the same thing. You need to be you need to be noble in your defeat.
Right.
And remember, what is very important is that if you are not there, this great NPP party will continue. So it's not a personality contest, but it's a value-driven system. People should be value-oriented, that people are associated with positions. Without the position, is there anything that you can do to show up the good fortunes of the New Patriotic Party? That's a task that everybody should look at. And we all have to embark upon this and help.
Right.
So that we break the 8.
Well, Honorable Atta Akyea, we are very grateful for your time with us today.
Pleasure, as always.
And of course, your seat will give you some updates on that. Akim Ebuakwa South.
Yes.
And of course, Samuel Atta Akyea will be staying with us as Evans Mensah, together with Raymond Akwa, Winston Amwa, take over from here and bring you the scoop. This has been our continuing coverage. We'll be going all the way till 7 p.m. This is your election headquarters and is brought to you by Petrosol Clean Fuel in full quantity. So stay with us. More results to be declared right here on your election headquarters. We'll be right back.